Welcome to the chemistry course. In today's class, I am going to discuss application of dipole moment. So by taking dipole moment data, what and all we can explain. Let's take first one. We can explain percentage of ionic character in the bond. And we know that any bond neither 100% ionic nor 100% covalent. So every bond has some character of ionic character, some percentage of covalent. So which is predominant, based on that we call it as ionic bond and covalent bond. Let's take example how we can calculate ionic character by taking dipole moment data. Here I am taking HCl, and we know that HCl is a polar molecule. Chlorine is more electronegative element which polarizes bonded pair of electrons towards it, and it get partial negative charge, and hydrogen get partial positive charge. So the dipole moment is oriented in this fashion, and experimentally found that HCl has dipole moment is 1.07 dB, and the bond length is 1.275 angstroms. Then how much of percentage of ionic character which is present in the HCl molecule? How we can calculate by taking these two? Let us assume HCl. Let assume it is a 100% ionic character. That means which is exist is a H plus and Cl minus. Ionic character means here only electrostatic attraction forces are exist between H plus and Cl minus, which is formed HCl, and it is 100% ionic character. Now according to dipole moment formula, dipole moment mu equal to charge into distance. So here charge, and we are taking 100% ionic character, one of the electron is transferred to Cl minus. Chlorine got a 1 electron. Let's take a 1 electron charge. I am taking in the electrostatic units 4.8 into 10 power minus 10 ESU into, here the distance between hydrogen and chlorine they have given bond length is 1.275 angstrom. 1.275 I am taking in the centimeter, 10 power minus 8 angstrom. Now this one 10 power minus 10 power minus 8, I can write it as a 10 power minus 18. Here I am writing the units, and 4.8 into 1.275 approximately we get 6.05, and this 10 power minus 18 into this corresponding unit is equal to 1 dB. So I can write dB. This is the dipole moment of HCl. If it is a 100% ionic, but it is not a 100% ionic molecule which is having covalent and ionic character. If it is a 100%, then what is the observed dipole moment we get? 6.05, but we have observed dipole moment is 1.075. By taking these two data we can calculate percentage of ionic character. So this is mu observed by experimentally. We have mu calculated, means if we assume 100% it is ionic, how much dipole moment we should get? This much. Now by taking these two data we can calculate percentage of ionic character. The percentage of ionic character is equal to observed dipole moment by calculated dipole moment into 100. So here observed dipole moment by calculated dipole moment into 100. How much we have observed? 1.07 dB. And how much we got on the calculation? 6.05 into 100. If you do this calculation, we get 17.7. So how much of ionic character is present in the HCl molecule is 17.7% of ionic character is present in the HCl molecule. Let's take second example. Sodium chloride has a dipole moment is 8.5 dB and the bond length is 2.36 angstrom. Now sodium chloride case, you can calculate percentage of ionic character, and you can pause the video, you can do the calculation. Let's take solution. So here by experimentally observed that sodium chloride has dipole moment is 8.5 d. The dipole moment is observed is 8.5 d. Now first we have to calculated dipole moment. After that we can take a ratio into 100. We get a how much of percentage of ionic characters exist in the NaCl. And here also let assume sodium chloride 100% ionic. Now how much charge is there? Each one is 1 unit magnitude of, and here dipole moment equal to charge into distance. Here also I am taking in the electrostatic units 4.8 into 10 power minus 10 ESU, and the length between the positive and negative ion is 2.36 angstrom. I can convert into centimeters. So 4.8 2.36, which is approximately equal to 11.3 d. Into 10 power minus 18 minus 10 plus minus 8 ESU dot cm. So it becomes 11.3 dB. Now percentage of ionic character. Equal to how much observed dipole moment is 8.5 by calculated dipole moment 11.3 into 100. So how much percentage we get here? 75% of ionic character is present in the NaCl. That's why we call it as NaCl is having ionic bond. Let's take another application with a dipole moment. By taking dipole moment data, we can calculate bond angles in the molecule. So to understand the bond angle, first you have to understand little bit dipole moment orientation. Let's take one molecule. Randomly I am taking AXY. Okay. So which is oriented in A, X and Y. So by using bond dipole, we can calculate dipole moment. Let's assume this bond dipole AX bond is mu1, because every bond is the bonded pair of electrons are polarized. As a result we get a bond dipole, and AY bond dipole is mu. And we have discussed that dipole moment is having a directional character mu1 and mu2. The resulted dipole moment will be oriented in this fashion, and this is called dipole moment of molecule AXY molecule. The resulted dipole moment mu equals under root of mu1 square plus mu2 square plus 2 mu1 mu2 cos theta. So here the theta, whatever the information we get, that is exactly which represents the angle between the bonds. Let's take some example. The H2O molecule has dipole moment is 1.84 dB and the OH bond moment is 1.5 dB. Then what is the bond angle in the H2O? And we know that the geometry of the H2O molecule, it is angular, and we have to find out what is the theta bond angle in this molecule. And here they have given dipole moment because we require the dipole moment and bond of dipole each OH. If you look at here, oxygen is more electronegative compared with hydrogen. Hydrogen get positive, negative, same way positive. So the dipole moment is oriented in this fashion. Dipole moment is oriented in this fashion. These are bond dipole. The resulted dipole moment is oriented in this fashion. This is mu. We have to find out here. Let's take here dipole mu equal to under root of mu1 square, and here both mu1 and mu2 both are OH bonds. You can take both are mu only. Anyway, I am taking mu2 square plus 2 mu1 mu2 cos theta, and the dipole moment of water is 1.84 dB equal to how much they have given bond dipoles, 1.5 whole square plus 1.5 whole square plus 2 into mu1 mu2, again 1.5 whole square. Here mu1 and mu2 is equal and cos theta. On simplification of this, we get a theta. Theta value is approximately equal to 104.5 degrees. By knowing the dipole moment and bond moments, we can calculate bond angle in the molecule. So what is the theta value here? Bond angle between the OH and OH is 104 degrees 5 minutes. We can determine shape of the molecule by taking dipole moment data. If it is a symmetrical molecule, the dipole moment is equal to 0. So the dipole moment we get 0. If it is an unsymmetrical molecule, we have some definite dipole moment. The dipole moment is not equal to 0. In the case of symmetrical molecule, dipole moment is 0. So by knowing the dipole moment, we can tell that whether the molecule is a symmetrical molecule or unsymmetrical molecule. Let's take some example. If a molecule homonuclear, let's say a helium. Helium is a symmetrical molecule and the dipole moment will come as a 0. So all the monoatomic molecules are symmetrical and their dipole moment is 0. Let's take a diatomic molecule. In diatomic molecule we have, let's take two cases. One is homonuclear, another one is heteronuclear. The best example is HCl. It is a diatomic molecule and it is heteronuclear molecule. In these cases, the molecule is linear, but the dipole moment is not equal to 0. Let's take another molecule, Cl2. It is homonuclear. Then the dipole moment in this case, both the cases mutually cancel and the dipole moment will come as a 0. So diatomic molecule which is having a linear geometry, homonuclear molecules show 0 dipole moment, but heteronuclear molecules show some definite dipole moment. Let's take triatomic molecules. If I take a CO2, CO2 molecule. The dipole moment of CO2 molecule is 0, which indicates that CO2 is a linear geometry. And here carbon and oxygen is more electronegative than carbon, and the bond is polarized in this fashion. So the dipole moment is represented in this fashion. So carbon oxygen, this dipole moment, let us assume it is mu, and this is completely opposite direction, minus mu. So overall resulted dipole moment, it is mutually cancelled, and the resulted dipole moment is 0. So when you are taking a triatomic molecule which is having linear, the dipole moment is mutually cancelled and it will show 0 dipole moment, which indicating that the triatomic molecule is a linear. Let's take another example, CS2, and in this case the dipole moment is coming as a 0. That indicates that which is a linear molecule. Let's take another example, which is a dipole moment is 0. Then what is the structure? It must be linear, which is oriented in this fashion. So in this case also it is a negative pole. So mutually that dipole moment which are oriented in the opposite direction, the resulted dipole moment is 0. Let's take some molecule, triatomic molecule like H2O, H2S and SO2. In these cases, if you take a water is having a dipole moment is 1.8 dB, and H2S which is having 0.93 dB, and SO2 approximately 1.73 dB. So what information we are taking from the dipole moment data? If H2O, I can write in this fashion, or I can write in this fashion. Let's take it two possible. If H2O molecule is linear, then definitely the dipole moment should have 0. But what experimentally found that the dipole moment of water is not equal to 0. That means it is not a linear geometry, which is a bent V-shaped geometry, which is having 104 degrees 5 minutes bond angle, and the dipole moment is 1.8. So here also the dipole moment is oriented in this fashion, and the resulted dipole moment is oriented in this fashion. Same case like H2S. H2S also not a linear molecule. If it is a linear molecule, it should have 0 dipole moment. SO2. So these are triatomic molecule, but these are not linear. And whichever the case we have seen, CO2 and CS2, HgCl2, these are linear. The net dipole moment is mutually cancelled and it will come as a 0. Let's take another example. BF3, tetraatomic molecule, which is a planar molecule. It is oriented in this fashion, and the dipole moment is, for this also it is equal to 0. Here what happened, if I take these two, fluorine is more electronegative than boron, and these are oriented, the net dipole moment is oriented in this fashion. It is summation of these two. It is exactly opposite of this sign. So it is mu, this must be equal to minus mu, then the net dipole moment is 0 for BF3. It is all like a symmetrical structures. The net dipole moment will come as a 0. BF3, CCl4, CH4, all these cases the net dipole moment come as a 0. And by taking dipole moment data, we can identify isomers, substituted isomer in the benzene case. But benzene is a symmetrical molecule, dipole moment is 0. Substituted benzene may have dipole moment. And here I am taking a dichlorosubstituted benzene, dichlorobenzene, and dichlorobenzene having 3 isomers. One is ortho, another one is meta, another one is para. This is ortho, this is meta, and this is para. And experimentally found that the dipole moment of ortho isomer is 2.6 dB, meta is 1.5 dB, and para isomer dipole moment is 0. Now if I know this dipole moment, how I have to assign which is ortho isomer, which is meta isomer, which is para isomer? Let's take first ortho. And the Cl bond dipole is 1.5 dB. Again I am substituting in the same formula, mu equal mu1 square plus mu2 square plus 2 mu1 mu2 cos theta. If we substitute here 2.6 under root of 1.5 whole square plus 1.5 whole square plus 2 into 1.5 whole square cos theta. If I solve this, then theta value will come as a 60 degrees. So what is the information we are getting is these two dipole moment are oriented in the 60. If I take in this fashion the 2 chlorine, the theta value is 60 degrees. So this is ortho isomer. And same case, when you are do calculation for meta, we get a 120 degrees. It is oriented in this fashion, and that's what 1.5 dB it is coming. And these are oriented completely opposite direction. The net dipole moment is 0. Mu is 0. And here the dipole moment and theta always it is inversely proportional, because theta 0 is having 1 value, theta 90 is having 0. Always if mu is high, theta must be low. So by taking this concept, here 60 degrees, if it is a 60 degrees, mu must be high, 2.6 dB. And second case 120, theta is increasing and mu has to decrease 1.5 dB. And in this case para isomer, it is completely opposite, 180 degrees, then mu equal to 0. In this way, by knowing the dipole moment, we can identify which isomer it is, whether it is ortho, meta or para isomer. These are some of the applications of dipole moment. By taking dipole moment data, we can calculate percentage of ionic character in the bond and structure of the molecule, whether it is linear or non-linear or symmetrical or unsymmetrical molecule, and identification of isomers in the substituted benzene. Even we can identify geometrical isomers also. By knowing the cis and trans isomers data, we can identify which is cis isomer, which is trans isomer, and that we have discussed in the first semester. You can refer that. And with this information, I am concluding this chapter. Thank you.